And hello, my fellow nerds. This is Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland Remastered Steam release. So last time we had just gone away from the village where Gidget was living, and now we're in this little small town, trying to look for somewhere to get some decent sleep. Just over the hill is a small dirt path. It curves around a few fishing shacks before gradually morphing into a cobblestone road that leads towards the castle town we saw from the boat. It's eerily quiet, though. I don't spy a single soul besides the two of us. Even the fishing shacks look abandoned, some of them standing with their doors wide open while others are completely boarded shut. The whole place looks deserted. Are we the only ones here? Begins was already a good couple yards ahead of me. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if he doesn't hear my comment or just doesn't acknowledge it. I jog to catch up. I notice him start to walk a bit faster. He doesn't look at me. I chew on the inside of my cheek, but with a frown, it simply fall into step behind him. At least it doesn't take long. Soon we make it to the town proper. There are more buildings here. Cozy cottages, apartments, quaint storefronts, airy cafe areas. In the middle of the square, a fountain tinkling away. But it's equally deserted as the fishing shacks. Nothing and no one in sight. Damn, this place is like a ghost town. There's gotta be someone here. Maybe we should, split up. Yeah, split up and look. I don't say anything for a moment. Then, what? My voice cracks with a squawk. That's not, there's not even anybody here. I'll be fine. Besides, it'll take us forever to search this whole place if we don't. I, I guess? Okay, cool. Give me a shout if you find someone. I just stand there, watching him scuttle away. Sure, okay, I say to the empty air. I frown and scrape my feet over the cobblestone. Did I do something wrong? I try to replay our previous conversation in my head. Must have said something. Something really awkward, maybe. It wouldn't be the first time. But the idea of Genzo wouldn't want to be around me makes me feel like there's a big cold stone just sitting right smack in the middle of my gut. I give my hair a flurried tousle, let out a groan. I'm overthinking this. I should just go search the town. The sooner we find someone, the sooner we'll get rest, and even if only for a bit. So I wander up towards the nearby buildings. Hello? I peek my head into what looks like a deserted cafe. Anybody home? I step inside. Hmm. The door clunks shut behind me. It suddenly feels incredibly quiet. I poke out the bottom of my lip with a bemused glance about the premise. It's a cute cafe, or at least it would be if it weren't dark and eerily deserted. I let myself amble somewhat aimlessly around the main dining area, almost as though making a show of searching for someone. But clearly my heart isn't really in the search. I sat down on one of the tables instead. I rest my chin in my hands. Maybe he's really annoyed at me. And I wouldn't blame him. I annoy myself all the time. I pause, blink. I'm still thinking about him? What's wrong with me? I've never been so hung up on something like this in my life. Or someone. I tap my finger idly on the marble surface of the table. It's true, my feelings towards Genzo are different than my feelings towards the others. I feel very safe around him. Like I belong. Somehow. It's the same thing as I thought earlier back in the shop. Being around him doesn't sap me of energy like it does with others. And when he smiles at me, it makes me happy. Happy? It makes me fucking ecstatic. I groan and rub on my face. I don't like this. I don't like this one little bit. Why can't I have normal feelings like a normal fucking human being? Everyone else in the entire world seems to have figured this shit out already. A sound outside catches my attention. Just as I turn my head, it goes from a clatter to a veritable cacophony. What the? I jump from my chair, here quickly leaping the overdrive. Wait, or quickly leaping into overdrive. Okay, yeah, I did read that right. Then run towards the door, ear to the grain. The sound continue. Scuffle of some sort. Then abruptly come to a stop. Kira's fingers I keep my ears, fingers trembling nervously against the wood of the door. Okay, okay, you got me. I surrender. Who are you? You don't look like one of the citizens here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy on the goods. I like it rough, but not that rough. Disgusting human. I'm taking you in. His Majesty will love playing with you. Genzo. Back before my brain has a chance to register what I'm doing. I storm straight out the door. Genzo! Only to hesitantly blanch. Genzo being held aloft in the middle of the street by a duo of rabbit guards. Extremely tall rabbit guards. At my brazen entrance, all three set their eyes turned towards me. Who's this one? Scrawny little guy, ain't he? Genzo's face is gone white. That's, then he gets an idea. Boys, yoo-hoo, better watch out, I'm getting away. He begins to wriggle and tug against the rabbit's grip. Stop that wiggling. 284, will you give me a hand? No, I wish you would just call me Jerry. All the rabbits turned their attention back to Genzo. I can only imagine it's supposed to be some kind of distraction so I could run away. But fuck that. Head on a swivel, I search for environments for something long and hard. My gaze lands on a rake leaning up against the side of the cafe. Perfect. Oh, I don't like that grin that he has. I grab it and let out a roar, then charge. Rabbits never see it coming. I whack them across the shoulders, their backs, their legs. Again and again. One whip like lash after the next, until my breath is run ragged and my voice hoarse. When I finally pause to admire my handiwork. Bro, you did nothing. You did literally nothing. I see them both just staring down at me in confusion, none the worse for wear. Even Genzo was eyeballing me as though I was sprouted a second head. Shit. I readjust my grip on the handle of the rake. I have to try again. I raise the rake back above my head. Only for Jerry to swat me across the back with the flat side of his spear. Oh, so Jerry's the one in the four. Okay, that makes sense. I like it. I like that he actually says Jerry instead of just saying one of the rabbit guards. That's funny. The impact sends me straight to the ground. I last about a second after my skull hits the cobblestones, then black out. I'm awoken from my stupor at by the slap of marble against my face. I groan. The tentacle drool works its way down between my lips and to tickle the tile. Eggs! A voice hissing next to me. And when I blatantly sit up, I see Genzo with his arms held behind his back by one of the rabbit guards. One of the many rabbit guards. My eyes widen as I attempt to comprehend the situation. There's a whole circle of them surrounding us. We pass them and a room opens up to a gigantic hall with ceilings that reach to the sky. I can only stare up in awe as I try to massage away the residual pain in my jaw. Genji! Genzo hisses again, then tugs against the grip of the arms with a grunt. Let go of me, you overgrown Easter bunny! He manages to wriggle free, but with one last zealous heave and promptly face plants onto the floor. Apparently the guards don't actually care at this point because they don't try to grab him. Iggs, you okay? He asks with a shake of his head before crawling over. That big lugabug whapped you a good one. I rub at the side of my head. I think so? Just a little out of it. Just another glance at our surroundings. Where are we? That big eyesore of a castle we saw on the way up. Somebody's clearly compensating for something with this place. Genzo's smile falls. It returns. It falls again. He scratches his hair beneath his cap. You, attacked a 7-foot-tall rabbit with a broom for me. I stop. Stare at him. Feel my cheeks start to burn. It was a rake, actually. Oh, right. Attention! The sudden screech from behind us nearly sent my hands to my ears. The rabbits pull a quick, synchronous salute that echoes off the walls. It's quiet for a moment, then... There he is again. From the far hallway, a small figure emerges, clapping its hands together slowly. That was quite the show you put on down in the village. It's Orlum. Fucking Orlum. Sporting a gaudy as fuck crown, a red velvet cape with white black fur, and escorted on either side by a pair of over-embellished rabbit attendants. Honestly, I wish I could see what the rabbit attendants look like. My jaw drops nearly to the floor. Genzo wobbles to his feet. I can see him trying his hardest not to laugh. Well, that explains the aura of portentous dickhead dripping off the walls of this place. As pleasant a mouth as always, I see. But what it doesn't explain is why the fuck you sent your long-eared flunkies after us. Do you even know how many times those things have tried to kill us? But Genzo, dear, they're only doing their duty. Orlum oozes over and looms their arm around Genzo's shoulder. Their constant surveillance is essential to the smooth operation of this kingdom. After all, we wouldn't want any miscreants running amok down here, now would we? He gives Genzo's nose a sardonically affectionate squeeze at this. Genzo looks about 50 shades of uncomfortable. I guess not. Besides, I'm a busy man. Can't keep track of everything my men do out there. Let me make it up to you, Orlum leans in close. It's a wonder their foreheads don't touch. Before just abruptly pulling away, raising his fingers with a snap. Guards, get them cleaned up, would you? I want them looking spotless for the feast tonight. As he glides away, and as the said rabbit attendant scurry forward, bobbing and bowing and ushering us off. It's all I can do to shoot Genzo a look of sheer bewilderment at this rapid fire series of development. What the actual? Whoa, I don't get to finish that? Oh, come on. Fuck. Okay, there we go. I was waiting for that. Like, honestly, it just gives me the vibes of that one scene from Mortal Kombat 1, Johnny Cage opening the door. He's just like, what in the actual fuck? Never in my life have I felt more exposed. Standing in the middle of the tub with my arms raised, I eye my rabbit attendant warily as he scrubs me down. Is this really necessary? I ask, trying to disguise the tremor in my voice as I watch him tackle my thighs. Stand still. I jerk back up, and attention spent the rest of the bath with my eyes trained on the far wall. Once the cleansing is finished, I feel as though I lost about 3 layers of skin. I'm toweled off and dressed in a thick white robe. Then it's to the large vanity, where my curls are blown dry and where I'm given the choice to view the state of my face for the first time. I grimace in the mirror. My eyes are a strange mixture of purple and red and dark, like 2 sunken holes in the middle of my face. And they're surrounded by thick purplish brown rings that make me look like some kind of enervated raccoon. My cheeks are lined with more bruises and a strange mixture of green and purple, and brow dotted with dark red scabs. My attendant finishes brushing my now fuzzy hair, and I place my glasses back on my nose. Thankfully, their thick frames hide some of the damage. There's a knock at the door, and another rabbit enters the room, holding a neatly folded set of clothes. It takes me a second to realize they're my own. Wait, what did you? They've been cleaned and dried perfectly pressed. I have no idea how I couldn't have been in the bath longer for more than 20 minutes. I'm given no explanation, of course. Instead, shuffled back over to the changing area where my attendant promptly sets to work fitting me in a newly cleaned attire. I raise my arms as he tugs my shirt over my head, smoothing it carefully across my front back, then tugs me into my pants and cinches the waist tight with a clasp. Infantilized doesn't even come close to how this entire situation has made me feel. Once I've finally finished, my attendant leads me back into the hall. Gento is attending motion the door on the opposite side, at almost exactly the same time. He looks disturbed. Was that the weirdest fucking thing you ever experienced, or did they do something different to you? He hisses it as our attendant guys back downstairs. You mean the bathing and everything? Yes! Then his eyes grow sharp. Nobody did anything to you, did they? I blink. Look away. My cheeks feel warm. No, it was fine. A little uncomfortable, but that was all. I see him shooting inside his cheek as he looks at me. Finally gives me a shoulder and a little squeeze of reassurance. You're safe now, yeah? Not that I really trust that fucker downstairs, but what's the worst he can do? Wait us the fuck out like normal? A laugh. I simply nod. cold sense of dread clutching at my bowels has yet to fully recede, but I can feel its grip loosen somewhat. Move along, one of the attendants barks behind us, which sends us scuttling back into gear, moving quickly down the hallway. As we're descending down the steps, Genzo starts to fidget. Hey, sorry. About earlier. Hmm? I try to turn, but my rabbit attendant gives me an impatient shove from behind to keep me moving. Back in the, town. Need some time to think is all. It's fine. It was a good idea to split up. I say quickly, waving my hands in dismissal. Genzo just winces. And when we reach the bottom of the stairs, he turns his attention to our increasingly grandiose surroundings. Titanic sized flags line either side of the corridor, almost as though welcoming a colossal beast. A brilliant red carpet bisects the middle, leading the way to an equally as impressive door. Jesus. Two rabbit attendants step aside to the doors and open it as the doors open on their own like magic, revealing an enormous golden ballroom. And at its center, a long table piled high with some of the most opulent food I've ever seen in my life. My eyes practically bug out of my head. But even as I eye the food, I can feel a gurgle of disquietude bubbling up inside my gut. Next to me, Gendo doffs his cap and holds it to his chest. Mary, Mother of Jesus! Hungry, gentlemen? You have walked an awful long way. You deserve a treat. Gendo twitches. I'm not even gonna comment on how weirdly sexual that sounded. Willem just smiles, his already heavily lidded eyes squinting further in amusement. Yes, everything is sex to you, isn't it? You've always liked to have your cake and eat it too. Oh, because you're the patron saint of purity. Willem ignores him. He ambles over, throws an arm around both our shoulders. Come, come, enough loitering around in this drafty doorway like a bunch of simpletons. My chef has put a lot of heart into this meal. I don't like how he phrased that. It would do him a disservice to let it get cold. Gendo winces but allows himself to be guided towards the table all the same. It is a rather tempting sight. We're seated on either side of the table, more sets of rabbit attendants scurrying to ready our chairs. Willem himself sits at the head of the table, an extravagant throne that looks like it could fit 5 of them inside of it. He leans back and looks at a pile of cushions and blankets lining the seat, chin balanced on his palm. He raises his arm in the air and snaps his fingers. One of the rabbit attendants waiting outside the far door darts over and places a golden wine glass in his outstretched hand, then immediately fills it. Willem swirls it, takes a sip, glances at both of us, simply watching him in awkward disbelief. He raises his hand in exasperation. Eat! I slam my head back towards the food. I am hungry, famished even. Though something about the food seems off. Something I can't quite put my finger on. Something tingling in the back of my brain like a dream fizzling on the edge of my consciousness. I shook my head. Now's not the time to let myself to get disconnected from reality. We need to eat, if only to regain our strength. With only a slight pause, I reached forward and began grabbing some of the best looking items off the table, filling my plate. Here's a snorts as he forks a giant slice of roast and rips it in half with his teeth. He doesn't seem at all concerned about the food, and the giant pile on his plate is any indication. You sure got everyone whipped around here. I mean, what do you expect? I am the king. I can do whatever I want, and no one's going to stop me. He takes another gulp of his wine. It feels good to be respected for once. I poke at my potatoes and watch the gravy run over the side into my asparagus. When I glance back up, Orland's looking at me. He's got that little grin again, almost as though he can somehow feel my growing discomfort. I bring a spoonful of stuffing into my mouth. Haircut, Iggy? What? I finally choke on the spoon. Your hair. I couldn't help but notice it's lacking its usual volume. A bit choppy, though. You should go somebody else next time. I draw my gaze back down to my plate, swallow the stuffing over exaggerated gulp. Right, yeah. Owen rests his chin and his fist with a snicker. At any rate, can I get you gentlemen some wine? His arm goes up before we have a chance to respond, and Nurse Snap sends 2 rabbit attendants to the table with ready glasses to serve us. I'm not really sure I should be drinking alcohol right now, but I also don't really feel like I'm in any position to say no. Oh, sure. Don't mind if I do. Genzo promptly downs about half his glass in one gulp. I just look at my growing discomfort. A deep red color makes it look like blood. My stomach twists. I turn my gaze back to Willem instead. He's not looking at me anymore, or the food. In fact, his eyes are focused on Genzo, staring at Genzo. Leaning forward, chin in his hand, grinning from ear to ear. His gaze follows Genzo's every move, from the movement of the wine glass from mouth to table, to the forkfuls of cottage pie he shovels in his mouth. If my stomach has been twisting before, it's absolutely contorting now. Why does it all feel so familiar? Not just familiar, dread-inducing. Owen picks up a fork and uses it to cut off a small piece of bright red meatloaf. He jabs it onto the tine, then floats it against his direction. Try some of the loaf. No! I reach forward and squawk before I can stop myself. Bolton turned towards me with identical looks of confusion, and I feel my cheeks start to burn. What's wrong, Eggs? Got something against meatloaf? Gizzo just laughs. It's... I don't know what to say. I don't even know why I've done that myself. I tuck at my collar all of a sudden feeling very warm. I just had a bad feeling, is all. I bring my hand to my face. I don't know. Orm lowers the fork with a smile. It's no surprise, really. You seem to have gone through quite the ordeal. That can't have been good on your mental health. I lower my head, unclasp my hands. I guess, yeah, I suppose so. Orm stares at me a good second longer. He takes a sip from his wine and sits back. You didn't happen to run into Gidget, did you? He asks, bouncing his elbow on the arm of his throne. I twitch a chill runs up my spine. Gidget. My throat feels incredibly tight. You'll be mine forever. I'm having trouble forming the words of response. Fortunately, Genzo saves me. We sure fucking did. Not that it did us any favors, he says with a grumble that sends tiny flecks of cornbread through his teeth. Oh? Willem raises his brow. And here I thought you'd be treated as honored guest given Gidget's pallid proclivities. Another twitch. My own little Iggy. I stare down at the spot on my pants. Is it blood? I can't tell. There's been so much of it. Seeping down my cheeks, flooding my eyes. She's doing quite well for herself, though, yes? And some of those shoots she's doing positively erotic. Willem rubs his chin with a lascivious skyward gaze. I confess I'm having subscribed to her work myself. Get it every week through the Royal Mail. I'm not one to say no to an innate beauty of the flesh, after all. Not that I don't get my fill here. Why, I go to bed with different women every night. The noble women, they can't get enough of me. I keep special housing close by for my most desirable of my royal subjects. We have good parties every night. Sometimes even 4 or 5 of them join me in that. Okay, shut up already. No one wants to hear about your gross sexual escapades. Genzo rolls his eyes. Willem stops, gives Genzo a blasé glare. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you're only interested in when there's men involved. Genzo's face goes white. Orlum, he hisses, all of a sudden looking incredibly nervous. This seems to give Orlum pause. He blinks and looks at me. It practically melts into a little impish little smirk. Oh, I see. You still haven't told me yet, have you? Told me what? I ask with an arc of my brows. He taps his chin, and I did always wonder why you never told him in particular. Isn't he your best friend? Orlum, please. I get those brows twisted of headache. I hear his chair squeak as he jerks forward. Because it's really curious if you think about it, Orlum taps the finger to his lips and peers at the ceiling as though really ruminating on this. Gizzard just throws a hairy glance in my direction. He looks as white as a sheet. Before he can say anything, and before the pieces fully connect to my head, Orlum turns his attention back towards me. But not nearly as curious as Iggy. Genzo I can read, but Iggy? You've always been a bit of an enigma to me. He leans forward, hand in his chin, eyes narrowed. The sudden scrutiny makes me sweat, and I pull my collar as I shift back into my chair. Me? I'm just me. I mean, I don't have any. Yes, just you. The you who's had a beautiful girl fawning over him for years, yet has never reciprocated. And as far as I know, he has never dated either. Not even in college. Don't tell me, his eyes widen in amusement. Something's broken? That's... It's not... My tongue feels like about 5 times its normal size. I can feel the flesh rising in my cheeks. A flush rising in my cheeks. Is it physical? A little Iggy not able to rise to the occasion? Odin looks positively fascinated now, leaning up and out of his seat in his growing excitement. Or could it be mental? A childhood trauma, perhaps? Does someone take advantage of poor little Orlum? Gizzo raises his feet so fast and nearly knocks the glass over. For fuck's sake, leave the guy alone. Orlum winces, but he does sit back, lounging in his throne with a swish of his wine glass. I was merely asking him a question. You know, guy talk and all that. We never have done enough of it. I could feel the sweat leaking down my forehead and back of my neck, soaking into my collar. I looked from Orlum to Genzo and then back to my lap. I need to say something. Oh. I love... As if Iggy would ever say that. I'm just picky. I guess I don't know, picky? I just haven't found anyone I really like yet. My head sinks lower and lower towards my collarbone. Picky isn't the right word, but I don't know how else to explain it. I don't really understand it myself. I just don't. I have the urge to do that, well, with anyone. I'm overcome with a feeling of shame. Maybe I am broken. I stare down on my lap, my fingers curling into the fabric of my pants. There's picky and then there's ridiculous. Orlin finally says in wonderment, taking an overly large sip of his wine. When I finally summoned the courage to raise my head, I see Genzo staring at me. His face is, well, it's unreadable is what it is, which makes me feel even worse. I quickly snap my gaze back towards my food. The tendrils of doubt that I'd been semi-successful at trimming back are beginning to resprout with a flourish. I need to steer this conversation in a different direction pronto. I take an overzealous bite of my sausage and promptly choke. So, anyway, I ask between coughs as I pound my chest. I take a slug of wine down and wash it down. What are your plans? I mean, down here, with all of this. My plans, Olin says back, gazes around. Turn this place into a proper kingdom, I suppose. There's still so many inefficiencies, a smirk, and I'd like to eventually expand so much of this world. So much of this world is still unexplored. Think of all that untapped potential. I pause with the tines of the fork between my lips. That sounds pretty extensive. You're not going back then? I throw a glance towards Genzo at this, perhaps searching for a backup, I don't know. But he's not looking at me. He's grown quiet and is now just poking at his food. Oh, of course, I will eventually. But what's the point of rushing back? Bit of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity we've got here. Wouldn't want to waste it. I guess. My gaze falls, and I let my fork drop back to my plate. What little appetite I had has suddenly vanished completely. I'm not feeling too hot. I bring a hand up to my forehead and wipe my curls from my clammy skin. My throat feels positively parched. I grab my wine glass, but must have misjudged the distance as I promptly knock it over instead. Shit! I jerk back to catch it? I don't know, but the damage is already done. The red quickly seeps across the tablecloth. I'm sorry. It's no bother. These things happen. Almost has his fingers, and as a rabbit tends to rush over to begin mopping up the mess. Shame tickles my cheeks. Gizzo finally looks up at me, his face softening in concern. Everything okay, Iggs? You don't look so great. I don't? I pull up anxious at my collar. I guess maybe I am feeling a bit weird. This is apparently enough to prompt him into action, because in the next moment he's onto his feet. He turns to Orlum. You said you got rooms for us? Of course. A bit of rest will surely do the trick. He's no doubt exhausted. Orlum just smiles and snaps his fingers. Guards, take Ignatius to the room we prepared. He needs his rest. Two guards emerge from the main doorway. They march over and pull my chair away from the table. I stand up with a little wobble and a rush of blood sending momentary stars across my eyes. Gizzo hesitates for a second, then he's pushing himself up and away and making his way around the table. He reaches me as the guard takes the lead towards the exit. You sure you're okay? He reaches for my shoulder, then seems to decide against it. He falls back. You want me to make sure you get settled, in case you need anything? I pause for a moment to nod. Sure. Despite the awkwardness at the table, having a familiar face in this place would still be a welcome respite. Though perhaps not just any face. His face in particular. So long as it doesn't think he doesn't think I'm a complete weirdo after all of that. But even if Genzo does think that, he doesn't say anything. In fact, he actually seems somewhat relieved at my response. He gives a little smile as he reaches forward, tentatively placing a hand on my shoulder for support. Then the guards lead us both out of the hall. Back at the table, Orleman is lounging on his throne, eyebrows raised in curious thought as he watches us leave. Sleep well now. My head is really starting to feel fuzzy now. Sweat dribbles down the back of my neck, and a cold chill sends goosebumps up and down my arms. The guards take us up multiple flights of stairs, and my legs feel more jellified with each landing we reach. Finally, we turn down a hallway lined with ornately carved doors. They open with the second door on the left and beckon us inside. It's delightfully dim inside, nothing but fluttering candelabra on the bedside table to light the room. And quiet, too. Somehow it cools the intense beating starting up in the back of my head. Come on, let's get you in bed, Genzo says softly and leads me towards the bed. It's enormous and piled high with soft white pillows, and when I shirk off my pants and slip under the sheets, it feels heavenly on my skin. Thanks, Genzo. What are friends for? Am I right or am I right? But he seems to grimace himself for this. Anyway, he glances around. Maybe I shack up in the chair over there, yeah? In case you need anything? Once you're good and out, I'll find one of those rabbit fellows to show me to my own room. I nod, but already my eyes are starting to creep shut. Tired. So tired. I don't even see Genzo finish his trek to the chair before they close completely. Hot. Dizzy. Tired. There's a thrum in the base of my skull and my face feels clammy and flushed. I hope I haven't come down with something. I wonder if for a moment if Genzo is comfortable. Then drift off to a restless sleep. She's after me again. I can see her around every corner, hands outstretched, breath hot and face flushed. Iggy, she coos. I can feel her hand on my cheeks and neck, running through my hair and sliding across my chest. You're mine, Iggy. Now her hands are roving lower. Her fingers dance across my stomach, play my fly in my pants. You don't need to be confused anymore. I'll fix you, Iggy. They dip inside. I open my mouth to protest. Now her hands are there too. My my cheeks, clutching to my skin, wrenching my head backwards, even as another set of fingers begins to touch, begins to caress. I'll teach you exactly what you should want. Her thumbs find my eyes. Pushing, pushing. I scream and nothing comes out. I sit up with a gasp. Black. Everything is black. And quiet. Quite quiet except for the rapid hammering of my heart. Where am I? I look around. I rub my face. Rub my eyes. Check my eyes are still there, intact. Holy hell, eggs! I jerk back with a voice, arms curling around my midsection, and shallow, dry breaths pushing past my lips. Hey, hey, hey! Movement. Then something hits the side of my bed. I see Genzo's eyes first, blinking at me through the darkness. Then as my own eyes further adjust, his face comes into view, round and worried. Oh, look at them. You're fine. Everything's fine. Mumbling and moving something crazy in your sleep, though. He chuckles. My mind zeroes in on that. On him. On that one point of comfort and safety in the inky blackness of the room. Then I move forward. Aww. I curl up against him, my head into his shoulders. I feel him tense against me. He doesn't move. Not at first, at least. He just sits there, muscles frozen. Then he looks skyward, almost as though seeking out an answer from some otherworldly being. Finally, he brings his arms around me, shifting over into his lap and gently repositioning me against his front. Yeah, yeah, he whispers. You're fine, you're fine. I breathe into his shoulder, long, slow, deep, calming breaths. My heart slowly begins to decelerate, soothed by the soft motion of his hand against my back. It's like being in a nest of warmth, completely and utterly safe. Just laying there against his chest, moving up and down with his belly. Calm. secure. Step slowly, just enough so I could see his face. And then I do something I've never done before in my entire life. Hey! I press my lips against his. It's quick and soft and chaste. Barely more than a brush, really. But it's still a kiss. An actual kiss. Gizzo's hands stop moving, clenching against my back. And his chest rises suddenly with a sharp intake of air. I pull back. He just looks at me for a moment, eyes wide. Well, yeah, legs. It's the same line from earlier, but now it's low and hoarse. I hear him swallow. He opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it again. Finally, I've been wanting to do that for. He doesn't finish. He doesn't look at me either. Staring down somewhere around my clavicle, his hands clenched and unclenched in the fabric of my shirt. Sorry, fuck. Look at me. I'm all fucking. He looks at me. I swear I can see water dancing in his eyes. Then he grabs me and pulls me in close, tight, kisses me harder this time. One of his hands digs into my curls, as the other moves up my upper shirt, fingers roaming my skin. Now it's my turn to freeze. My muscles lock up, breath catching it in the back of my throat. My heart starts up again, faster, and thudding painfully inside my chest. Genzo notices almost instantly. He stops and pulls back. Oh fuck. Wait, was I wrong? Was that wrong? Fuck. I'm so fucking stupid. My body calms back down, slumping as my muscles untie themselves. I bring my hand to my face and to my hair, rubbing my damp skin. Now comes the fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of anger that will follow. I shake my head. No, I swallow my throat dry. I just can't. That. That makes me uncomfortable. That? I bite down on my tongue, trying to search for the right words. That kind of touching, I wince. Then pull my hair with a groan. Frustrated at myself, embarrassed at myself. That's not what not the touching itself, more like what it leads to. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I just need a bit more time. It's not that I don't like you. I think I might like you very much, but the anxious feeling of awkwardness grows with every word. I can feel myself shrinking in on myself, in an effort to disappear. Gizzo blinks in silence, then cocks an eyebrow with a smile. Fucker actually laughs. Was that all? He actually had me worried there for a sec. I bring my head back up, a face no doubt a weird mixture of confusion and apprehension. You think I care about that? Fog eggs. To be honest, I feel like I've always kind of knew, but I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Just being with you is enough for me. More than enough for me. You don't think I'm broken? Bro. He stops, blinks, looks at me with a mixture of confusion and sadness. Fuck that, and fuck anyone that thinks that. He reaches forward and grabbing me back into a hug. The calm, gentle warmth of the previous hug just hold me against him. There's nothing wrong with you. And don't let anyone ever make you feel otherwise, you hear me? It takes a second for the impact of this to fully resonate with my brain. Then it hits me. It's like a wave of something just completely runs through my entire body. My muscles, limbs, everything going limp in the release of tension. I don't feel like I didn't know I'd been holding. My chest unclenches. My heart unclenches. Even my eyes unclench, quickly filling up with big salty tears. It's okay. It's actually okay. I'm okay. This thought, this thought seems to spark me into motion, to return control to my body. In that instant, I return the hug with everything I've got, squeezing myself against him and into him. My own safe little cocoon, where there aren't any exceptions. No judgment, just love, acceptance. Oh. I'm not sure how long we sat there just like that. Finally, Genzo's grip loosens. He runs a hand through my choppy hair. I'm guessing you're still fuck all tired, yeah? And I'm pretty fucking exhausted too. Maybe we get some sleep then. He goes over the pillows and winces, suddenly unsure. I mean, if it's okay. It takes a moment, then I realize what he's asking. I grin somewhat awkwardly. It's fine. His resulting grin could have lit up the room. I crawl back over into the covers, and he settles out of his jacket and heavy pants. Then I watch him come rolling over to join me. Soon both of us are curled up beneath the sheets, eyes closed, breath heavy, my head just barely touching his shoulder. I don't see her again for the rest of the night. That was actually really sweet. Next time I open my eyes this morning, the sun is pouring in from the window to paint warm squares across the sheets. Right. I think that is a good time for us to leave this video here for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.